Alrighty, let's go ahead here with personal reading order number 66. 66, you'd like to know, should you give them a last chance? Let us see. You can go ahead and read the description box. Or read the title. Read anything. All right. So with this combination here, I would caution it, but I would also say experience it. So this could be caution the expectations, caution how you are trying to come forward, but allow yourself to kind of be in this place of allowing the experience to come forward here for you. Let me just remove this individual. So when we have this combination come forward here, the idea that comes ahead with the Magician, with the Fool, with the Queen of Pentacles can say that as you allow yourself to be in this place to try it out and to move forward, you might actually find that it comes healing for you. It becomes something that maybe calms some worries. It allows a new idea to come ahead in your mind about what you want to experience, the patterns that you want to build up with, and it allows you to kind of set a different tone. Now, when we have this combination come forward here, though, with the Three of Swords, with the Two of Swords, as well as with the Judgment card, we also need to be in this place of trying to make sure that we are not overstepping, or maybe overstepping is not the right word, not allowing ourselves to be in a place of creating too high of expectations as to what that means to have another chance. I see this as maybe something to experience, to recognize as an opportunity for detachment, or recognize for an opportunity of kind of navigating things in a different way. If you would go into it with no expectations, with the idea of the Queen of Wands, with the idea of the Queen of Cups, when you allow yourself to move forward, to experience some sort of emotional fulfillment or passion or attraction, when you go into it with the opportunity to feel an experience, that can move forward in a good way, because that energy can kind of give the place to build up, especially with them coming forward as a Page of Cups. They might be bringing forward more of a flow of feelings. They might be bringing forward of a flow of opportunity, rather than bringing forward stability, success, or structure. So I see this combination as basically saying that if you were to give them the last chance, that you might find that it creates a little bit more of a healing energy for you. It really ties into the emotions or passion a little bit more, and it creates that sort of reflection onto yourself as to where you want to take care of yourself. But it may not necessarily give you that stability that you would be looking for in a partnership. It may not be building up in that way. And so if you give them this last chance, it might be good for self-reflection, but not necessarily for the idea of building up with them, if that makes sense. So that's what I would say. Giving them a second chance is completely up to you. Would I say it's going to lead you to where you want to be when it comes to relationship? Probably not. And so if that was the factor of if, is this going to lead to more and then I should give it a chance? I would say it's not going to lead to more, but it would be something that you can experience some sort of self-growth from. And if that's how you want to experience connections, then I would say give them a second chance. So that's what I would say. So these are paid personal readings. These are not free. These are not for the collective. These are paid personal readings only. The number up on the whiteboard is the personal reading order number. These are not for the collective. These are not for just anybody. This is for the person who has paid for the reading only, and that is it. I've noticed such an influx of little children on the lives, and where are their parents? Where are their parents? That's what I want to know. I also realized for going for the zodiac signs today, I was muted. So I have to wait till it's downloaded off of TikTok and then process it, and then it will be up on the YouTube channel. So I just need a hot second for that as well. It's a little unfortunate that it was muted, but it is what it is. Alrighty, let's go ahead here with 67. 67, you'd like to know, what does he think of you? Let us see. All right, so he thinks of you as somebody who can bring forward a sense of happiness, but also bring forward a sense of uncertainty. So you have some very predictable qualities about you, but then you also have these things that kind of catch them off guard. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of makes it be something that they get a little bit of like, I wouldn't know your reaction to this, or I wouldn't know what you would want when it comes to a situation, right? It kind of brings forward those what if sort of scenarios, or who knows sort of scenarios, and that can make things a little bit difficult when it comes to feeling confident or feeling reassured in the actions that we take. Now, they do see you as somebody who is very respectable. With the emperor coming forward, this is you can handle everything, you can take charge, you are somebody who is not afraid to maybe stand to your own or to move forward in the way that you need to move forward, especially when it comes to going after the things that you want or going after your kind of things that would maybe be for the greater good here as well. So maybe they think of you as somebody who thinks about others and cares for others and wants a sense of like community to be there. Now, I see this as all as something that is really good. I don't see anything really negative coming forward here. The Knight of Cups can be a bit of a dreamer card. So this could say that they think of you as somebody who has very lovely dreams, because the Knight of Cups is a very, the bringer of manifestations, bringer of desires, and so it's like you're calling in good things to come your way. So they can think of you as somebody who is a very, how do I want to phrase that? They can think of you as somebody who's a dreamer, but not just a dreamer as like, oh, you get lost in the clouds of your mind. No, they think of you as somebody who is going to go after these dreams, somebody who's maybe a go-getter, somebody who has a sense of direction in life, especially with the Emperor energy coming forward here. They would also think of you as somebody who can bring forward a really strong sense of like community or connection, or like an accepting energy in a way that just brings forward a natural flow here, especially with the Strength card. You're not somebody who is going to force things to happen. You're not somebody who is going to maybe even try to take control over situations. You are somebody who kind of brings forward a sense of flow, reassuring energy, and even like comfort when it comes to the people around you as well. So I see this as a combination that says they think of you in a respectful way as somebody who's a go-getter, a dreamer, cares about others, is somebody who's maybe at times a little bit unpredictable, or you have some sides of you that they just don't really know what's going to happen. And then again, it's not a bad thing, but maybe there could be some things that kind of surprise them about you. And somebody who is not a very much person to be in like a controller of situations, more of like a flow to come forward, or a comfort to come ahead, or you have a sense of strength towards you where you like allow things to happen instead of being controlled to need things to happen. That's kind of how I see this combination coming forward here. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you are interested in having a personal reading here today, check out, oh, that's too close now. Check out the live personal readings. Just erase it all. temperanceandsage.com for the live personal readings. All right, let's go ahead here with 68. 68, you would like to know, how do they feel about the car meetup? Let us see. All right. So there's portions of them that is feeling a little bit conflicted. The Five of Wands can come forward with a conflict of energy. So this could mean that there's things within inside of them that are kind of headbutting. On one hand, they have like a passion, an excitement, a desire, Knight of Wands, especially with the Nine of Pentacles, like to see you, to interact with you, to connect with you. But then there's also this sense of uncertainty and kind of like a critical eye or critical viewpoint that comes forward with the Queen of Swords as well as the Moon, of thinking about the different possibilities, the unknowns, what do things mean from here, that kind of get us playing on more of the negative side of the mind. And so it seems like with the Five of Wands, this energy is kind of going back and forth with inside of them, as like on one hand, very passionate to see you, very excited to be in your energy, feeling of value and connection with the idea of being around you, but then about the unknown, what happens from here, what's next, what do we interpret, different movements, different conversations as, kind of gets things into a little bit of a held up energy and makes things feel a little bit more anxious. I would call it like this anxious frustration of uncertainty, rather than it being anything that specifically has to do with like more of a negative tone towards you. It's just the what ifs that seem to be coming forward here. Now, with the Four of Swords coming ahead, we do have a little bit of a rested energy, a reassured energy. So there could be some things that were on their mind that now get this sort of like calming tone, answers for questions that they had, or what ifs in their mind were kind of calmed down. But again, at the same time, now new things have replaced that, and it just kind of maybe like feeds the cycle a little bit. Especially with the World card coming forward, we can get into the place of feeling like a bit of a cycle. Certain things get closed out where we feel a sense of comfort, we feel like some of our questions have been answered, we get the sense of like, harmony to come forward. But then again, we also get this sort of uncertainty for the new questions that have yet to be answered. So I would say it's kind of like a push and pull sort of direction here. But overall, this is a good combination. Like there's nothing that's coming forward here in a very negative way. This is a very good combination that comes forward here because there brings the excitement. As much as there is the anxiety, there is also the excitement. So let's go ahead and see what are the message cards. We have moving too fast. So there, that could be the idea of the unknown of the future, right? We kind of get caught up in the mind. Who knows what's going to come next? Who knows what happens from here? The things that we cannot control. Just called to say hi. There's that issue in communication again, wanting to maybe say more, but not quite sure knowing what to say. So that could be the reason there too, why we kind of get a little bit conflicted, because if we don't know how to create this conversation in the way that we want it to, it can make things feel a little bit difficult. And then we also have time flies by when I'm around you. That is very much the Nine of Pentacles, enjoying being in your energy, enjoying connecting with you, looking forward to the idea of being around you again, right? Like there's this want to be in your energy, right? We want to be surrounded by you, a passion, but the maybe uncontrollable aspects, the what ifs, the unknowns, the future, right? The conversations, that kind of gets them a little bit caught up and makes it bring forward this sort of like maybe more anxious tone there too. So that's what I would say. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you are interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com for the live personal readings. Alrighty, let's go ahead here with 69. You'd like to know, was he frustrated or annoyed with you today? Let us see. So we do have the moon card coming forward, and the moon is the absolute only card that I use to signify a no to the question that is being asked. And so I would say no, I don't really see anything coming forward here even beyond the moon to give the idea of being frustrated or annoyed. When we have the Four of Pentacles, there's kind of like this folding into ourselves sort of direction. We're not really open to other people. We are not really expressive. We're just kind of like, if we could be a turtle in a shell, we would be the turtle in the shell, right? That's kind of the card that comes forward here when we want to hold back just in general. And so I don't really see it being something that they're frustrated or annoyed with you specifically. There might be just something going on in their life in general that they kind of just hold back on. There might be something going on where they are just not really in a place to be open or expressive, but I don't see it being anything that is tied to you specifically, especially when we have the Page of Cups card coming forward, because the Page of Cups wants to be in a place of openness or wants to be in a place of connection. But the thing to remind ourselves with the Page of Cups is they have the fish in the cup, so it can be kind of surface level rather than it being something that is going to have a lot of depth to it. So when you see this kind of combination come forward here, I see this as a combination that basically says there's nothing going on here that creates them to be frustrated or annoyed with you. But we do see the energy going on here of them maybe holding back in general, or them kind of being in a place of being very surface level, especially with the moon energy coming forward here as well. Not really allowing ourselves to open up, not really allowing ourselves to connect, kind of keeping things hidden. We just kind of have this energy overall of kind of being secretive, I guess you could even call it. Rather than allowing ourselves to be expressive, we're just secretive or holding back. And we're, kind of being a little bit more on the surface level. So I think it's just something going on in their life in general that maybe they just kind of put up a bit of a wall today, rather than it being something with you specifically, because I don't really see anything going on here that would signify the idea of, the idea of being annoyed or the idea of being frustrated. It's like, I'm open to surface level, I'm not open to in-depth, but it seems to be across the board. So that's what I would say. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing a live personal readings here right now. So if you're interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com, for the live personal readings. Alrighty, let's go ahead here with a 70. 70, you'd like to know thoughts and feelings. Let us see. All right. So this seems to be thinking about how to connect. When we have this Five of Pentacles here, we are feeling distant in one way or another. We're feeling maybe challenged in connecting, but the Six of Pentacles coming forward with the Three of Cups wants to have some sort of opportunity to connect, to create some sort of flow, to be around each other. There's this energy of like wanting to have some sort of way to see movement or flow. And so when we get into the style of combination with the Ace of Swords, we can be thinking about how we can start up conversation, how we can create some sort of new idea, how we can connect, but also doing so in a way, King of Pentacles, that we feel very stable, that we feel still in control of the situation, like it's not going to go in a different direction than what we want it to. It's just going to allow some sort of flow in a way that we feel is best or best for us, right? There's a sense of like, it's still providing the support for them, right? So we get into this place of feeling a pull or feeling a passion to connect with the Three of Cups, a want or desire to have some sort of uplifting energy. But then we also get into this a bit of a distant and challenging idea with the Five of Pentacles, where it's maybe hard to connect or hard to see the direct way to make something happen. And then that can kind of get into a bit of an issue when it comes to like, what do we offer? How do we make something happen? How do we create that flow? So the Ace of Swords is them thinking about how they can go ahead and do that, what conversations that they can start, which directions and ideas that they can bring forward to see some sort of movement, to connect, and to see an opportunity here to kind of like balance things out or create a sense of direction here between the two of you. So that's what I would say here for this combination, thinking about connecting, thinking about creating some sort of flow, and feeling a sense of distance, but at the same time feeling this desire to connect and kind of like change the situation around. So that's what I would say. So let's go ahead here for 71. You would like to know what are G's thoughts and feelings. Let us see. All right, so it seems like we've got a little bit of worrying about communication. We have the Nine of Swords with the Seven of Swords with the Six of Swords. So this is like, I want to see some sort of opportunity here to have flow, have movement, for us to be on the same page, maybe get over some sort of challenge or some sort of problem. But the Nine of Swords, ruminating a little bit, worried about if what we want is even possible. Can we see some sort of opportunity here? Seven of Swords, is it better to hold back or to communicate? Kind of getting stuck when it comes to the idea of how do we work together? How do we get on the same page? How do we create some sort of flow? Now, when we have the Page of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles, on one side, we're wanting to kind of bring forward like a passion, pep in the step, sort of flirtatious direction of conversation. And then on the other hand, with the Knight of Pentacles, we're wanting to bring forward more of like this slow and steady, reliable, friendly sort of conversation. And we may be trying to figure out what is the best way to communicate, what is the best way to make something happen. Especially when it comes to taking an action that is going to spark something and create momentum. Ace of Wands are wanting to spark something up, or wanting to create passion, excitement, desire, forward movement. We're wanting to create a spark. So that Seven of Pentacles, we can see some sort of opportunity here to make things work out in a way that's going to build up for tomorrow. Three of Pentacles, so that we can work together, so that the action of today is not just like, oh, you know, how are you? I'm good. How are you? You're good. Okay, that conversation ends there, right? No, we want to have something that's going to continuously build things up and create movement, Now, they can be thinking that something's on their side when it comes to luck here for the Wheel of Fortune, but it could also mean that they're kind of waiting for the right time as well. So they could be feeling like, okay, you know, things are on my favor to make you feel comfortable or make you feel connected, Queen of Pentacles, but at the same time, maybe have to wait until I figure out the best way to bring the spark or figure out the best way to communicate and to create some sort of flow. So that's what I would say here in terms of their thoughts and feelings. A little bit restricted around communication, because they're thinking about maybe what's the best way to make something happen in a way that actually flows and creates opportunity, but at the same time feeling a passion or a pull to be in your energy and be connected with you. So that's what I would say. So if anybody is interested in having a personal reading here today, check out the website, temperanceandsage.com. We are doing the live personal readings here right now. So if you are interested in having a personal reading here today, check it out, temperanceandsage.com for the live personal readings.